What it is, good people, it's the Literary Dummies back with another book discussion for you, starring your host, Alex, aka Fudge Bars. You can follow me on Twitter at Fudge_bars, capital B, capital Z, and on Instagram at Fudge_bars, capital B, capital Z. Like, comment, and subscribe. And this is my co-host,
Kevin, and you can follow me on Instagram at Scotty Get Down with 2 N's, 1. No Twitter though. We don't need Twitter.
we do need a Twitter, but
I don't.
maybe we will make a Literary Dummies Twitter and you can just run that.
That is so much better.
Yeah. But don't be stupid on it.
J.K. Rowling about to get all of the business.
But this episode we're going to be discussing the classic novel Beloved, written by Miss Toni Morrison. I ain't really got to give Toni biography. Y'all know what the fuck Toni about, who the fuck Toni is.
Right.
Y'all know she one of the goats out here.
Oh,
Y'all probably seen the Beloved movie with Oprah. And
I didn't see it.
you know what I'm saying, Beloved?
You told me about it. I for some reason I didn't watch it. I should have watched it.
With Oprah and Danny Glover. But we're gonna discuss the book, and let's hope it's not for one time only. And I can say this is just the first time. We gonna let Twice as Dark, my best friend, Young Kev, he's gonna lead this discussion. I'm
Pay
giving it over to you.
Pay attention, it's going to be quick. It's not going to be as long as it is. You like to take 15 minutes? I like to hit y'all with the squall. It's going to be a short squall. Squall means 3 minutes or less. Let's do it one time. Okay, so the story starts off in 1873, fresh out of slavery. Emancipation Proclamation started like 1864, something like that. Don't correct me on that. It doesn't matter. Slavery was ended. Sethi is the mother. The mother takes her child, Denver. Her daughter's name is Denver. That's her daughter's name. Keep that in mind. Her daughter's name is Denver. Takes her somewhere, got a house, got a job, all that kind of stuff. They're getting haunted by some ghost. Both of them, just them two, get haunted by some ghost. Mother meets somebody at work named Paul. They start getting it together, getting it on. She lonely, boom, boom, boom. Then the dude is starts to fall in love. He sees something odd. He's like, what's going on? And it's because they're getting haunted. He starts to find out other details about why they're getting haunted. They're getting haunted. The mother got some issues up in her brain. I'm not gonna give all that away yet. She has issues in her brain. Her child Denver does not go outside. It's like Monkey Man from Hey Arnold. She doesn't leave the stoop. She don't even go on the stoop.
That was Stoop Kid.
That was Stoop Kid?
Yes, not
Monkey Man there. That was Stoop Kid.
Yes, that's why his name was Stoop
Why
Kid.
did I get that wrong?
I don't know.
Monkey Man was all the way off the stoop. All right.
Go
So it's Stoop Kid. I'm sorry. He had to correct. I'm glad he's here to correct me on that. I ain't watched that show in a while. Anyway, daughter is reclusive in the house. Doesn't go out there getting homeschooled, but still very smart. Boom. Daughter eventually gets a job. And when she starts to get a job, her mother's mental illness kicks in because of the hauntings and whatnot. And ends up trying to attack the person giving her daughter a job. Ends up in the hospital bedridden, which is a great thing in this book. The mother needs to be bedridden at all times. And then the guy, the nobleman that he is, comes back and helps out and stays by her bedside for all the time. It's a happy slave story. It's not happy all the way through, but it ends up being good. The mother's bedridden. She's crazy. Crazy people should be bedridden sometimes. You got a straight jacket, but be bedridden. Saying that.
Do that. Your synopsis.
And Deborah's so smart, she gets a job, she gets on out of there. And slavery just ended, and the girl out there getting the stuff right. And you find out that the person haunting the house is the eldest daughter. She had a daughter before Deborah.
That's it? Are you done with your synopsis?
No, her other kids, she had 2 other kids, 2 other sons, they left. They left when they were 13. Because of the haunting. I should have said that earlier. We're going to bring it all together. It's all together now. You got it all together? That's good. It's my first time.
Alright, so he gave you a very, very basic breakdown. So most of that is what's happening.
Bam.
What he didn't mention was that Sita's older daughter was a child that she killed in slavery, or during slavery. During slavery, Sita had got away, and they were at this house called Hard Home, or something like that. And Hard Home seemed to be a place where a lot of escaped slaves or free people would go work. And really, they would still kind of be slaves, but it would be like a man might go work at Hard Home for 5 years to get the to get the freedom of his wife, and then they might really be able to leave. It was more, they were really trying to pull off the indentured servitude, like the two white people that owned it were considered good white people type shit in Reconstruction South. And that's what he means by right after the Civil War. But while she's there, eventually some slavers come to like take her back down south, like, nah, you don't get to be free. And she had, I think, 3 children at the time. And she killed one of them. No, she had 2. She killed one of them and was going to kill the other. In the movie, the book, it's not as graphic for me as it was in the movie. And I mean, sometimes the book is more graphic, sometimes the movie isn't. But in the movie, like, it starts with damn near that scene. Like the slavers coming and she slit one of her baby's throat, and she throws it at the slaver when he comes in, and it's just like, up. So the baby that she killed, they feel like the baby that she killed, all the children that she killed have been haunting the house, but the oldest daughter has been a ghost that's been haunting it forever. She has 2, the longest. She has 2 other children outside of just Denver, but you don't hear about them. They're 2 sons. They run away when they're like 10 and 11 because they're just tired of the haunting.
13.
Yeah.
As soon as they hit 13, that's what I thought was weird. As soon as they hit 13, they ran away. Like, that was a special age.
I mean, in some cultures it is.
Yeah.
Back then, 13 was probably... Yeah, and 13 was in the late 1800s. I could see 13 being like, nigga, you old enough to get a job for real now. And so they ran away, leaving Sita in Denver together. The guy that... And like the whole town knows that this house is haunted, and so they stay away. Eventually, a woman shows up, and a bunch of even weirder things start happening. Around this time, Sita falls in love with Paul D, and the woman ends up trying to fuck Paul D. A whole bunch of stuff goes down. Come to find out, one of the big twists is the woman that's there is a reincarnated version of the daughter that got killed in slavery, and she just wants really to be loved by her mom. Now, and that's essentially it. It's a slave movie kind of about, this is early generational trauma, because you get to see how what happened to Sita affects her daughter, and her life is just terrible. And Sita can't get completely over it. Like, you killed 2 of your kids. Even though the reasoning made sense, you killed 2 of your kids. That's just gonna fuck you up for forever. So boom, that's pretty much it. Great talk. Early stages, generational trauma. A lot of these niggas be writing about generational trauma now. This is the OG.
Yep. Let's talk about...
So some things that you liked, good sir.
A lot of stuff.
Go ahead, because you couldn't do that much of the summary.
Look, man, I did the best I could. It's the first time. Paul D had the best friends in the world. Let's start there. It's usually in a movie or a book, the people that know the bad stuff about the person that their friend's trying to date, they just simply say, no, I don't do that. And then the main character will ask why, and they'll just shy away and be like, oh, well, I just, heard some things. But right away, he said, no, I think I love Sita. And they're like, no, nigga, shit. Her? She thought. She out there really in the streets. Really, what happened? Oh, she killed somebody. She killed one of her own kids. That's what happened. Don't date her. That's crazy. Bam. Right away. No hesitation. I said, I like that. I like that part. I liked when Paul was having sex with Beloved. That's the ghost name. and did not ever tell Sita about it. Ever.
Because it was a mistake and it was some enchanting spirit, like ghost shit.
Nope, that is classic toxic masculinity.
So if a ghost come in your room today and fuck you, is you telling your girl?
Yes.
You want to tell your girl?
Yes, I'm telling a ghost. Because that's not cheating. The ghost is literally doing, it has me against my will. He fucked the ghost.
But I don't. Keep on fucking.
Paul fucked the ghost and said in the book, word by word. I put this in quotes because that was one of my favorite parts. I'm not gonna tell Steve I feel guilty. When he came in the room after fucking the ghost, he told Steve, I just want to get you pregnant. Classic nigga shit.
Because he felt
classic nigga shit. Because he knew she loved it. He said, it doesn't matter, it can make me feel good. Just say some random shit and she's still gonna be on me. He said, I want you to be pregnant. Then the mentally handicapped Cephas said, oh, for real? Okay, let's just do that.
Well,
best part of the book.
We should mention, because it's a classic part in the movie, that Beloved gotta have some kind of spiritual powers that just latch on to Paul D. Or she uses, because in the movie it's like for 5 minutes she just keeps repeating it, but in the book I think she only said it twice. But like she walks in on him and she hits him with the classic, I want you to say my name and touch me on the inside part. Boy, as a kid, as a grown man now, you know, a woman asked me some shit like that. That's a weird way to ask for sex, but cool. I'm not going to deny. But as a kid, like that scene was creepy as shit. Probably was watching Beloved before I should have been watching Beloved. Yeah. But I watched a lot of things I shouldn't have watched. You know, but that scene was so creepy. And even in the book, it's still creepy, but it's not the same.
I forgot to mention that Cephie had a husband, or has a husband, but she didn't get divorced the whole time. Hallie, might be Hale, I'm calling Hallie. He went insane. He's gone after the first son left, he left. Mm-hmm. He went insane, and then they allude to it. They don't say it explicitly. They allude to Cephie being raped a lot. And when he saw that, he went insane, like a bitch. So, that's what happens. Didn't stay with his wife at all. He said, oh, what? You're getting raped? No. He left. But it just never came back.
But, let me tell y'all, Beloved has one of the greatest written moments about a man that I have ever read in my fucking life. It ain't even 2 lines, but this is the most realistic shit ever. The scene where, because you know, like the rumor has been that Sita killed her kid. Like I said, the whole town knew about it, but nobody really knew why. So Paul D's like in love with her. You know, you trying to figure out like, yo, I know you killing. Yo, tell me. So she gives this man the whole, like her whole slave narrative, like she Frederick Douglass show. Give her whole life and explains to him, I killed my children because they were not gonna have to go through what I went through as a slave. I was not gonna put my children through that. And it's like real heartfelt, like I almost cried reading it. And she do all that complaining. And this nigga Paul D don't even wait 5 minutes and he go, I mean, damn, you ain't had to do all that though. I'm like, nigga! And if that ain't the most, like,
I agree with that.
He was like, yo, I get it, but you ain't had to do all that. Like, she gave you her whole story. It was so heartfelt, like, yo.
I agree.
You had to kill them niggas though? He was wild.
She didn't have to do that.
She didn't want her kids to be born in slavery. You know?
They weren't going to, she escaped.
They were coming to take them back.
And yet, she escaped.
You want to try to escape slavery with 3 kids?
No, I wouldn't, but she did.
No, she escaped once before having all the kids.
I don't think she had to do that. Because technically they wouldn't have had to do that because the Emancipation Proclamation happened a couple years later. They lived in the house.
Does she know that?
You can't act all the time. You gotta think first.
You can't. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you in here.
I mean, back in the day, if we're gonna think realistically.
Hell, I'd kill you if niggas was bringing back slavery and it could save me.
No. In real life, sure. But in this book, the particular setting, She had to do all that.
Why? What was the other choice?
She could have ran faster.
The niggas had horses in a cart.
That was not described in that scene. She said they were coming.
They was coming, nigga. And even if she runs, she has to take a kid just to take multiple children.
I just don't know if she had to slit that one particular child's throat.
She probably could have killed it another way because I think I think she suffocated the first kid that she killed.
Yeah.
And then the second one, because they had gotten so close.
Oh, so it's one of them. I thought it was just one.
Yeah, I think she got away with killing one of the children.
Yeah, that's the eldest daughter.
No, the eldest daughter is the one.
She's second. Okay, she was second. Okay.
Yeah, because she was trying to
Jesus
speed
Christ.
the process along because they were getting closer. So she didn't have time to.
So she's a serial killer.
No, that's not how you define a serial killer. You don't define a serial killer as like two people getting killed real quick. But nah, you wild. But
I might be on that part. I just don't think she necessarily had to slit the girl's throat. That's basically what I'm trying to say. She didn't have to slit her throat. Could have
I enjoyed this.
thrown her in a bush or something.
I enjoyed this book. I don't enjoy this nigga opinions on this.
Could have thrown her in a bush. I like the book. I already did like the book. I just have some opinions that some people don't like about the book.
But this was dope. This was some real OG. I give it a 3.5, but I feel like that's kind of unfair because it's older.
Mm.
So I've seen some of these ideas toyed with differently in books and just in general. So when you go back to the original source material sometime, it don't hit as hard.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the book. Like I said, I just have opinions that some people might deem unpopular.
Nigga is wild.
But
Thank you